Hey everyone, this is Wu-Man Chu for the Wu-Man Chu Chronicles, and my guest tonight is Norman Royal. He's a stand-up comic. And wave to everyone out there in YouTube land,
What's
Norman.
going on, everybody in YouTube world?
Holy moly, I think there's an echo on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that was probably from my end or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, for sure. Yep, there's one person viewing, so that's rad. Hello, and greetings, my one viewer so far. Type in the comments, and then we'll answer them at the Q&A session at the end. So, yep, we're gonna have a Q&A. And what we're doing is like we're raising funds for Smitty's Greenlight Tavern and the Hanging Tree Cafe during these coronavirus times. And we're gonna be having Norman's PayPal information on the bottom too. So let me know if you can see it. Um, I guess it's not on there yet. Can you see it on the bottom there?
Me?
Yep.
Um, I don't see anything on my screen. Let me.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, now I see it.
Awesome.
Yeah, there it is.
Sweet.
This is CNN tonight's. That's how I feel with that little thing. Or one of those infomercials that you see at midnight. Call now and act before it's too late. Just 10 cents can save you.
Indeed. Yeah, it's what I'll probably do is like I'll probably just have them all scroll on one ticker, and I think that'll help cause make everything right, I guess. So
Sounds good.
yep. So Norman, what
Hello.
inspired you to do stand up?
Um, well, there was an old bit I remember back like from the when Johnny Carson was still around back in like somewhere in 1962 between there and 92. Steve Martin, I'm sure you remember him, came up and did a an act called The Great Flydini. And that at that moment I was like kind of just blown away at the amount of craft, creativity, and he didn't even barely use any dialogue to his performance, and it still landed the way that I'm sure he intended. And that to me was like that's art. So to me it's like that's a form of art that I can get behind.
Absolutely. And what are your goals in life?
My goals?
Yep.
Um well, right now I'm trying to get my comedy off a little bit more, so I'm promoting it a lot more on social media and all that stuff. However, it hasn't been hitting exactly where I want it. So my goals pretty much is because I ultimately want to be not not one of the greats, because I don't think there's really going to ever be another Eddie Murphy, but I want to be somewhere up there. You know what I mean? So that's ultimately my goal, is to perfect my art, to perfect my craft, and perfect my comedy.
Absolutely. Yeah. It'll be super rare to find like another Eddie Murphy. So that's why like I encourage people to be themselves and be the next you. You know what I mean?
Nobody's ever going to be able to top his energy, his dude, like the way he goes into his material, like he provides that commentary and the characteristics. Like he can get down into his characters. I've yet to see anybody else perfect it as good as Eddie Murphy.
Indeed. Like I love his movies, and Eddie Murphy Raw definitely helped me out during my stand-up days.
Oh
So
yeah,
indeed.
that
Yep.
was the special, man.
Absolutely. So, what makes you like pushes you to do more and be better or be great?
Um, well, ultimately, like again, I want to proceed on perfecting my craft. And I see performers such as, like I watch old stand-ups from like Robin Williams and all that. And I remember seeing him like the way he brings out his characters on stage and the way he can become that whole entire different person and that persona and such. And that makes me like, if he can get to that level, why can't I? So that pushes me to be like, I want to be like that. That's where I want to be. So that to me, that pushes me. The more I see them do their stuff, it's like, all right, it's inspiring.
Absolutely.
Stupid. Sounds stupid, but to me, it's like,
And if you could be anyone like in the comedy world, like who would it be and why?
I would have to say Robin Williams again because his energy level, the way he just can be one thing at one moment and completely like blow your mind and be like completely serious. Like, because I've seen him play like just the darkest roles, and then I've seen him play like just the comedic roles, and I'm like, he can be anything, and that's usually how I am. I'm a cartoon character at times. I'm random as fuck, so uh I don't ever do anything, you know, that anybody would think like, oh, that's normal. Like you're always gonna have something that's gonna catch you off guard with me because I'll do anything to get a laugh.
Absolutely. And this might be a silly question, but some like folks have like comedy writers, like a comedy team. And do you write your own jokes and your own material?
Yes, I do. Again, being that where we are as like comedians and stuff, I often hear the same thing. We find the humor in different ways, in different uh, ways that other people criticize as negative or misbehave or misguided behavior, and it's like, no, we don't shred on the sorrow and the hurt when we can bring some sort of light and comfort to the situation, if that makes sense.
Yep, indeed. And sometimes like it feels like you're bombing on stage when there's like no reactions at all. Like how do you deal with like a dead audience and like an audience that doesn't like just chooses not to laugh?
It's hard at times. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's scary to be up there and you start seeing yourself go. You can have a great starting, a great opening, and then just completely flunk all the way through. And sometimes it's easy to pick yourself back up at the end. But for me, I always prepare. I find myself rehearsing my material, kind of scouring the bar or the club, depending on where I'm at, and just looking at the audience. Usually, if I'm up on stage and I'm doing my riff and my bits and my material I'm going through, and I look out and I see half the audience is starting to shriek down or shut down or not look interested, I'll find out what am I doing wrong and try to flip it while I have that time to flip it. Because most of my jokes that I write, they'll either hit or they'll miss. And a lot of times with my material, it's so hard to do my stuff. I can't hardly do it at times. But when you get it right, it's a great turnaround and a great feeling of accomplishment to be able to transform that audience to be like negative one moment and be like, oh, okay, all right, he was losing me, but now I'm interested.
Absolutely. And let's see here. Um, like how do you like deal with people that think like you made like a bad joke, like or like a poor resentful joke, that someone might have found offensive because like in this day and age, people are pretty soft. So like how do you deal with that?
Well, one, if you can't handle some sort of form of joke, then perhaps maybe you shouldn't even be out amongst the people. I mean, personally, like, you're not going to be able to please everybody. There's no fucking way, because that alone is a challenge on itself. So again, it goes back to like trying to find the right material, the right act to put out for the right type of audience. And sometimes the material, like I've used material that some audience don't like. And what I feel like once you hit that part and you do that material, you'll start to lose the audience a little bit, but you just got to find the medium, because like if you're trying to please everybody with a joke, I mean, look at Carlton and Samuel and all of them. They've had jokes that a lot of people aren't going to laugh at. What was his name? Roy Junior's. You know, he hits and misses all the time. Not every comedian that goes up on stage is going to be able to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to get everybody in this room. No, you're not. But that just goes with, again, if you can't take a joke, maybe you shouldn't be in society.
Yep. And sometimes like that one person that doesn't laugh is like the one that's like sitting right in front of the stage. Like you gotta stare at them the whole night. I'm like, oh, not you again.
That's the person you got to be like keeping your eye on. You don't know if that drink's going to fly up or not.
Yep, man. Yeah, I remember bombing on stage on my birthday. It was the worst feeling in the world.
On your birthday?
Yeah, it was like my
Oh,
last show in Florida ever too, and I'm like, oh well. I guess I have
that's
my own.
gotta that had to be a shit day. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and then everyone else bombed after me like atomically, so like it made it much better because we all bombed together. It's great.
There you go. You had a bombing crew.
Yep, I like my bomb squad. Oh man, so where can everyone look you up online and all that good stuff?
Oh, I'm everywhere, man. I'm like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Um, I don't have Tumblr, Tinder, or anything like that. Grinder, nothing like that. So, but yeah, Facebook, Twitter, probably your backyard if you're interested. Uh,
You're a
about it.
peeping Tom.
I got a
Oh
lot of
man,
time on my hands now that I'm quarantined.
that's for sure. So
I'm keeping my 6 feet.
indeed, man. You know what's weird? Like we're 6 feet apart, and like we're like when we die, we're 6 feet underground. It's just a weird
And
thing.
we're like not even that far apart underground. They just
No,
bury bodies on top of bodies.
indeed. So what was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
Scary. I remember like it was funny because I actually went over my videos on YouTube the other day or last week, and I ran past an old video of me when I was like still nervous and holding the fucking pad and shit. I'm like, God damn, dude. At least I got a lot better. So, um, it's it still gets nerve wracking. Like probably now going um out on stage. Like if I was to go out on stage right now, it'd probably be a little nerve wracking. But that's just due to distance between us. But I've been doing my stand up on my YouTube every Friday night. I write out like new material and I'll just put it out there.
Yep,
So that's one way for me to be keeping up on it.
absolutely. Stay sharp.
Got to.
Yep. And we spoke about like Eddie Murphy and stuff, and like Robin Williams earlier, and I want to know like what are your favorites, like your favorite comedy specials and comedy records are.
Ooh, I don't know the names real well, but I know 97, 94, 96, and 92 were years of Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Bernie Mac, I believe was one of them, the original Kings of Comedy, and Dennis Leary. There was one in particular, like 94, something like that, from Dennis Leary. But again, I'm not good at the album names, so I can't remember the names. But I remember the years, which is weird.
Yep, indeed. And some of those dudes have been like on like sitcoms and sketch shows and comedy films. And
They have been everywhere.
like, which are your
Crazy.
favorites in like in each department?
It's a good question. I think for me, a lot of them, depending like for me, Tim Allen in particular, I loved his stand up. His stand up was freaking crazy. And then the way that he would he would do his material on stage, but he would be so wholesome behind the camera. And that to me was like, all right, so he was partially one that I can get into. Again, Bernie Mac, I followed way before he even got his show on Fox, like way back. Um, so he was another one that was all right. I'm sure there was like a lot of them that actually had their own shows. My favorite one was Louis C.K. though. The way that the screenplay, the choreograph, the commentary, and all that stuff, I really loved the way it was and the way it was scripted. Um, I've always thought Louis C.K. was just a monster beast at his writing and everything and the way he does his stuff. So that right there to me is like one good one to watch. If nobody's ever seen it, check it out. Who cares if he flashed his dick at someone? At least nobody touched it, so he can't really say he sexually assaulted anyone. He
Oh
probably
man,
sexually assaulted the fucking bar table or a cup or two, but that's about it.
that's pretty raunchy. So if you can go on tour with any comedian, which one would you choose?
I'm sorry, what?
If you can go on tour with any comedian, which one would you choose?
Woo! That's a good question because there's a lot of them that I would freaking choose. I think honestly, I would probably choose TJ Miller. That guy's a freaking monster maniac too. I don't know how he comes up with his stuff. I have no idea. But I've seen his stand up and he's just like off the chart.
Indeed. And if you can get roasted by five comedians, a top five past and present, which ones would you pick?
To be roasted by or roast?
Both.
I want Jeff Ross. I've been targeting him on Instagram for a while. I want to roast that motherfucker. Um, Chris Diello. I want to freaking roast him. uh, Josh Wolf. He's another one. There's quite a few, honestly, that I would definitely. Hannibal Burris. He's another one. I want to freaking do that guy's. I want to roast Hannibal Burris for sure as well.
Indeed. And let's see here. What do you see your comedy career in the next 5 years?
What are my
Like, where do
sorry.
you see it? Like, where do you see your comedy like journey taking you in like the next 5 years?
Hopefully up. Uh hopefully I can get out of the bunker and move into an actual studio. Um I want like I said, I'm always pushing it, always writing, always doing new stuff. So I'm hoping to create the fan base that I'm looking for to get up to be where again, I'm not looking to be no Jerry Seinfeld, no Louis C.K., no George Carlton. I want to be good, but not like up there because I'm not trying to push what I know I can't do, but I know I can be up there. And so I'm hoping within the next 5 years, I'll either land myself a writing gig or something, another another venue or something like that.
Indeed. And let's see here. And remind the viewers like where can they find you online and on social media and stuff.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Absolutely, yeah. Just search Norman Royal and you'll find him. And
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. It's under Norman Royal for everything.
indeed, and let's see if what is your favorite joke a comic has ever written?
Favorite joke of comics ever written. I don't have one right off the top of my head. That's a thunker.
Yeah, there's so
Oh,
many.
have you ever heard of no, I do have one. The Aristocrats. Freaking Gilbert Gottfried, dude. The Aristocrats. Have you ever heard that joke? That thing is so fuck. You want to talk about raunchy material? Like that joke is the best and the most raunchiest bit I've ever heard.
Indeed, I gotta look that up then because like Gilbert's pretty hilarious. So
Yes, look up the Aristocrats. If nobody's ever heard that joke, look up Gilbert Gottfried and the Aristocrats.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, and if our viewers would like to jump in on some questions, let us know and type it in the comments thing on YouTube, and then we'll ask Norman some questions and all that good stuff. But be polite and all that stuff, and because he's a
Let's
comic and
get
he'll roast
real.
you. But after this whole pandemic thing is over and everything, somewhat goes back to normal, what are your plans after all this stuff? Like, what's your future shows and anything lined up?
Um, as of right now, all I have lined up is July 15th for Sareth Fest. Um, other than that, I haven't made any bookings or anything. I was actually supposed to go out to Los Angeles this last month, but because of this epidemic hitting, yeah, unfortunately was unsuccessful at that. So, um, nothing nothing really this big coming up other than, like I said, the most biggest thing and that I'm happy and looking forward to is Sareth Fest July 15th.
Oh man, it's gonna be a lot of fun with comics from California and Florida joining us, and Denver. It's gonna be pretty
Absolutely.
massive, I think. Man, but yeah, like
Hell yeah.
yeah, we're gonna support all the venues that support us, and like the Hanging Tree Cafe and Smitty's Greenlight Tavern, and for 5 days, bands of almost every genre playing original music and comics telling original jokes. And on the bottom there,
Yeah, you
we
got a
have
good
our
lineup too.
oh yeah, indeed. And the majority of the lineup is like most of them are from last year because they're like so professional and they set up fast and they tear down quickly and it just runs smooth. And I try to add some new ones in there, but man, it's pretty stacked. Like there's like over 20 bands and like 20 comics. It's like it's gonna be wild. But yeah, man,
I'm
and
looking forward to it.
heck yeah. And on the bottom there, my Threats, PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo are on there. And whatever we get, I'm donating it to Smitty's Greenlight Tavern and the Hanging Tree Cafe. And Norman's information is on the bottom there too. And if y'all donate, it all goes to him. So what we're doing is like I'm interviewing everyone on this platform and trying to raise money during these times for everyone. Um, Another way to raise funds. Trying to do the best we can because we got to
Yeah,
hang in there and
it's been crappy, man. Like I said, even though people are treating it like it's vacation, the economy seized up.
yeah, and like you mentioned
So
earlier before we jumped on here, it's like everyone's just walking around like it's nothing, and I'm like, do they even have masks on or anything?
no, some
Man,
do, some do, but I don't know. It's one of those futuristic sci-fi movies where everybody's wearing the mask and got the steam coming out, and then there's those that are just walking. So
man, it's kind of like a set of
yeah,
set of Jason X.
exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man,
it's ridiculous.
I can't believe it. Yeah, we got like about like 5 minutes to the half hour mark, and so we'll probably end up in 5 minutes. Do you have like any last words you want to tell the audience or all that good stuff?
Well, yeah, I just hope everybody's doing good. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy, even though some of you I know you're not. For the most, just make sure you check up on your loved ones and stuff. I myself, at least, even though we have a distant relationship and a strange relationship, I still check in on my mom every once in a blue just to make sure she's breathing. Once I
Yeah.
hear that, and then I hang up, I'm good.
Yeah, like my family bugs me all the time too. It's like, did you eat? Did you water the plants? And all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yep. Oh man. But yeah, I can't wait
But
till this summer. Hopefully everything goes to normal. The merch looks incredible for the fest.
I'm looking forward to it.
Man. Imagine if you will, all the Cenobites from Hellraiser 1 in the bathtub scene in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
All I can see is one throwing a mangle at the dude.
Yep. And like the Chatterer has like like a radio that he's gonna drop in the bathtub, and the female
Yeah.
Cenobite has like the shower rod pointing in at Butterball. He's in the bathtub as Benicio del Toro, and Pinhead's gonna be Johnny Depp, and he's holding the Hellraiser box, and like
That's awesome.
yeah, and like the engineer is like he's about to throw in the grapefruit at him. It's pretty rad, and like Charlie McMullen's doing the artwork once again. And his artwork's like hand drawn and everything. And I just got done like piecing together the venues on there and like the artists on there. And I'll
So
tell
this
you,
version of Johnny Depp will have more hair than the original in Fear and Loathing.
he has that horseshoe look on him. Like he has like the glasses, like aviators on, and it's uh it's pretty awesome the way that everything came together. And there's
I
like
can imagine it.
heck yeah. Yeah, there's a little rabbit on the bottom of the like near the bathtub for the White Rabbit song that plays in the movie.
Nice.
Yep, and then there's a little Easter egg that I'm not gonna tell online yet, but it'll be like it's kind of like the MCU, with Marvel, with like Doctor Strange and Endgame and stuff. But there's an Easter egg in there that's gonna be like Phase 4. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. Like people are gonna be wondering what the heck is that doing in there. It's like wait until like the fourth phase and everything will come together. And it's we planned this out like
Be one of the
40.
ones that you have to kind of tilt to get the image.
Oh, and it will be like right in plain sight. So
Oh,
yep.
okay.
And just for a little hint, there's a movie coming out in September that's a remake of it or like a rebranding of it. And
What?
it's tied into this the Clive Barker universe. And so it's gonna be I'll leave that hint up to you, and it's just pretty awesome. Yep.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds awesome. When did you say it was? Next year? Oh,
Phase
next year.
the movie that's gonna come out.
Yeah.
It's coming out in September. Yep,
Oh, okay.
yep. But it's another reimagining of a Clive Barker flick. So there you go. That's the hint. So we got 45 seconds left, and looking forward to seeing Norman at the festival. Hopefully everything goes back to normal. Donate if you can. Everything that goes to my accounts will go to Smitty's and the Hanging Tree. Everything going to Norman's account is going to go to him. This is our way of raising funds for
I'm
the
sure.
artists and the venues. And thanks for watching the live stream of the Wu-Man Chu Chronicles episode 2 with Norman Royal and myself, Wu-Man Chu. Follow me, look for me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. I'm there too. And thanks for subscribing if you do. And we'll see you all next Monday with Anna Lepley. Signing off.
Woo!
Take it easy, Norman. Take it
All
easy,
right,
viewers.
later. You too.